What's up, YouTube? It's your boy Mark Dark, and I'm back with another video. If you're new, if you love power, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, like the video, and leave your theories, comments, everything down below. Now today, we're going to be talking about Power Book 2 Go Season 4, Episode 7. This is the recap. Now I'm going to try my best to focus on all the key points in this episode. If I miss anything, you guys let me know down below. And as I told you guys last night, this was a crazy episode. A lot of stuff, was popping off in episode 7. We only got 3 more episodes left, and that's it. How will this crazy story end? Detective Don Carter, he was on one in this episode. He feels like he has control over Tariq, but he doesn't even have control over his task force. I mean, it's all over the place. We already know what happened to Felicia. She got dropped off. She was a cokehead. We can officially say bye, Felicia. You know what I'm saying? And then you got Nico, who at the end of the day is going to make his own moves. He knows that Detective Don Carter has been lying, and I'm pretty sure it's just a matter of time before he flips. And I would not be surprised if Don Carter has to take him out. But what does y'all think about your girl, Dirty Diana, catching her first body? We smoking on that Felicia pack, and man, I know Diana, she felt some type of way when she found out that Felicia had a son, and that's going to get to her, y'all. I mean, Diana's character is about to change. We're about to see a different type of Diana for the rest of the show. But Felicia, she was doing entirely too much, so she met her fate. And man, Diana, she lost that baby. I know it was all types of different crazy fan theories out there. As I told you guys, we had fans believing that Diana, she was pregnant with twins, and that one of the babies ended up dying, and that one of them ended up making it. I mean, it's crazy, right? And then, of course, with the trailers and these promos, they was making it seem like the baby could be alive or whatever, based off the way that Tariq was moving. And, of course, based off some of the things that was talked about in some of these promos. But as I always tell you guys, we got to wait until the episode airs, because those trailers, they make it seem like it's one way, but then when you watch the episode, it is something completely different, right? So I always try to follow those parallels of the Power universe. Usually the parallels are going to give us the answer at least 90% of the time, in my opinion. And going off the whole pregnancy storyline, that parallel to Holly, of course, with Diana catching the beat down right in front of Holly's, and all the different clues that they was giving us, you knew that baby was done for. You know what I'm saying? So, of course, that's what ended up happening. And as I told you guys, Diana, she's about to be a completely different person. She's definitely going to be way more dangerous, and I cannot wait to see how they're going to develop her character by the end of the season. But it was a lot of stuff going on in episode 7, so let's hop right into the recap. I'm going to try to focus on the key points. If I miss anything, you guys let me know down below. So what did we see in episode 7 titled, I Can't Fix This? Now the episode starts out with Tariq with tears in his eyes. And this is the part that we saw in that first promo trailer for part 2 of the show, where Tariq was crying or whatever. And as I told you guys in my final predictions video, at this moment, we should find out what happened to his unborn child or whatever. We knew it was going to be something real serious, because if he's crying, it has to be for a reason, right? And we find out that the baby is gone and did not make it or whatever. Diana, she's very upset. The whole theme of the episode is, I can't fix this, right? Similar to the OG Power, we know Power Season 4, Episode 10, the title of that episode was called, You Can't Fix This, right? We know Ghost felt like he can fix things after, the death of Raina, and Tasha told him, you can't fix this, right? So in Diana's head, she's feeling like ain't nothing anybody can do to fix this problem. Even though Tariq is trying to help Monet, even Drew, everybody's believing that they can help out with this issue, but Diana knows that nothing is going to fix it. And at the same time, she feels like she has to be the one to handle it, right? Just like Ghost felt like he had to be the one to handle Ray Ray, but we know who ended up taking him out. It was your boy Tariq, because he was the one that was there. He was the one that saw his sister be taken out by a dirty cop, which is another parallel, because we know Diana got beat down by a dirty cop and she lost her baby. So they're, giving us those parallels to Power Season 4 in this episode, which was cool. Now we know Diana, she was pissed off telling Tariq, this is the life. This is what happens when you're in the drug game. It's just not going to end well, right? Now, Monet, she's having a conversation with Diana, you know what I'm saying, trying to be there for her. And they talk about what happened to her. And they mentioned that it was Felicia, right? Now, Kane, he was right there. So he walks in. He's like, who is Felicia? So this is what I'm talking about. If Monet would have just told this man from the jump that Detective Don Carter and his task force, they're all over their backs and that they need help, maybe things could have played out a little bit different. But Monet does not want to do this. She feels like Kane's going to get himself killed messing around with Detective Don Carter. Now, Kane tells Diana, call me when she messes all of this up. So that goes to show you that Kane is upset, but he wants to be there for his family. And Diana, deep down inside, she wants her brother to be there as well. As I always told you guys, in order to beat Detective Don Carter, they're all going to have to work together as a family, right? Family first. But if everybody's doing their own things, you already know it's going to be a lot of negative consequences. Now, we get to the return of Rashad Tate, and y'all know he pissed off. His brother is gone, and he wants to know who did it. Now, Detective Don Carter was not trying to really give him no intel at first, but once Tate started going off and talked about how he's going to bring the press in it, we know Don Carter changed up real quick, talking about he believes if it was the Russians or whatever, it could be retaliation and all that stuff. So Rashad wants him to make sure when he finds this guy, give him a call first. And I'm pretty sure that Rashad was believing that once Don Carter found him, he will still be alive and maybe Rashad will be able to take him out or whatever, or at least get some type of, revenge. But no, we know Don Carter ain't going to do that. And Don Carter was the one that took him out. So, of course, he's going to do whatever it takes to hide the truth, to deflect, to make it seem like it was someone else. But deep down inside, he knows what time it is. And I'm going to tell you right now, I hope and pray that Rashad Tate finds out the truth. Because once that happens, he going to turn up. And Don Carter's days are going to be numbered because he's going to have entirely too many enemies. And the last person you want to be your enemy is Old Dog Tate. And of course, Tariq. So having those two on your bad side is not a good deal. Now, the whole thing with Wiley Adams, it got screwed up in the last episode because of Zion. And now Noma, she has to find out another way as far as, this business, those contracts. And we know Wiley Adams, he was working on her, U.S. citizenship, right? And all that money overseas is stacking up and she needs someone to help clean that money. But in order to do that, she needs somebody from the U.S. to help her out. So we know Davis McLean is telling her, look, how about you get somebody, in the U.S. to be, a part owner and, maybe that could work. Now, we know Kane ended up helping out Noma at the end of the episode by telling her they can just get married. And that will help her out as far as, this whole business, this U.S. citizenship, these contracts as well. And as Davis McLean told her, you need somebody that you can control. And we know as of right now, Noma definitely can control Kane. That boy be willing to do whatever he got to do to look out for her no matter what. Now, Tariq tells Brayden about what happened to Diana. He's pissed off. And we know he getting the strap. He about to go put in some work. But guess who pops up? Stokely. He tells them like, look, everything is over as far as y'all selling drugs. He knows about it. He don't know if they got fans or fiends out there. I mean, he's pissed off and he wants everything to stop. Tariq tells him ain't nothing stopping. You know what I'm saying? Even if y'all do know, it's just not going to happen. And Stokely told him, well, you lucky I do not get you expelled. So this boy about to go snitch. You know what I'm saying? Now Tariq gets pissed off. He rushes Stokely trying to fight him. Brayden ends up helping him just basically grab him and get him up out of there. But Stokely was very upset. They're going to have to figure this out. And I'm going to tell you right now, Elle, she's probably running her mouth about what's going on as well. And I'm pretty sure in the next episode, Brayden, he may have to handle her. But besides snorting coke and hopping up on stage, dancing like he Diddy or whatever, Brayden does tell Tariq that taking out a cop is not the best move. He does not want him doing that. And, hopefully things can turn out a different way. Now, we get to Detective Don Carter and his task force. He is letting them know that the Russians basically took out Kamal Tate, which we know is completely false, which we know he did it. Now, Nico was putting two and two together. He's like, man, why would they single out Kamal Tate in the first place? And he says, look, he was a good cop. We need to basically show him, some respect, because we know Felicia, she was being disrespectful, like she didn't give a damn about Kamal Tate, and that she was happy that he was up out of here. So the game plan is to put it on the Russians because they don't want IAB investigating them, and they don't want Rashad Tate going to the press. Now, Nico did tell Don Carter that they got another potential snitch and that Drew, he can handle him, but of course, he has a proposal, right? Now, we know Drew is planning to take out Roman, but it's not going to be that easy, or at least it seemed like that at first. We know Roman was running his mouth. He thought he was big and bad when he had his boys behind him, but that officer that was outside, he was on, Drew's side. He ended up giving him the room number. He popped his door, and we know what ended up happening. Your boy Drew, he went in there and he took out Roman, got him up out of here. So we officially smoking on that Roman pack, which we knew was going to happen ever since he started talking about, how he's going to snitch on Detective Don Carter's task force. So now Drew definitely has a little bit of an advantage and is making Carter believe that he can trust Drew to do certain things for him, which is going to give Drew a great advantage, which we know he ended up using later on in the episode. Now, we know Tariq took Braden's advice. He went and talked to somebody that he can trust, help him calm down, and help him make a better decision as far as what he needs to do next. Now, he does tell Tasha that, Diana was pregnant and that, it was his, of course. He does talk about how he can fix this or whatever. He is not Ghost. I mean, the same stuff that he always talks about or whatever, but we know he can't fix this. You know what I'm saying? And Tasha's telling him Tariq trying to save her in the first place is what got her in the situation that she's in right now, and that maybe he should have a different approach. And we know Tariq, he wants to take out Felicia, and Tasha understands that that's a big risk. Taking out an officer is not something that she wants her son to do because she don't want nothing happening to him, right? She wants him to come back home. She wants to basically have the family together once again. And this is what Tariq pretty much promised her. And he's telling her he has not forgot what he promised her, right? So at the end of the day, Tasha, she's trying to give him the best advice to protect him at all costs. Diana, she's going to go out there and do exactly what she wants to do. And she's tired of everybody else trying to fix this or whatever, or at least thinking that they can. She wants to be the person that's going to handle it, right? Now, I do think Tariq going to Tasha was completely stupid. You don't know who watching you, right? I mean, going there could put her at risk, and somebody could potentially try to take her out. I know Tasha was telling Tariq that he needs to be smart and all this stuff, and Tariq did mention be smart like you as far as how she, shot Monet. We know Tasha said, look, she don't know I did that. So as I told you guys, months ago, what's going to happen when Monet finds out that Tasha was the one that shot her? Will that truth end up getting revealed, or will it always be a secret? Then we get to Monet and Detective Don Carter. And remember last year, this picture, it was leaked out. And now we get to find out the details of what's going on. Of course, she wants to get Felicia up out of here. I mean, she beat down Diana and Diana was pregnant. Now, Carter is telling her, like, look, I didn't know anything about that. And we know he's basically trying to protect Felicia, telling her, y'all not about to do anything to her. I called the shots and all this stuff. But Monet tells him, like, look, if Felicia did this to Diana and her unborn child, imagine what other stuff that she's done. You know what I'm saying? She's a liability anyway. And deep down inside, Detective Don Carter, he knows this, but he wants to call all the shots. Monet, she's concerned about Drew. He is telling her, look, Drew, he gonna be all right. You know what I'm saying? He'll be home real soon. So, of course, this ain't what Diana wanted to hear. We know Monet texts Diana letting her know that things did not work out with Don Carter. So y'all know Diana is upset. And Diana, she wants to take things in her own hands. She's having a conversation with Drew. Drew talking about just wait, don't do anything stupid. She tells him about what happened. And just like everybody else, Diana tells him, look, you cannot fix this. The theme of the episode, right? Because Diana is getting sick and tired of everybody telling her what they can do. And she's like, you know what? Screw all that. I'm going to do it. I'm going to handle Felicia, and I need to be the one that's going to drop her off, right? So she grabs the strap and heads out in search of Felicia. We get back to Noma and Kane, and y'all know Kane, he's kind of upset with Noma because she's going back and forth between him and Davis McLean, and Kane feels like she's trying to make him jealous. And Noma's like, look, I'm just trying to do what I got to do to get things done. The whole thing with Zion, you did not handle that. Tariq had to get it done, you know what I'm saying? And she's like, look, what have you done for me lately? She does not trust Effie. She's not really feeling what happened with those Russians, and she feels like Effie could have tipped Detective Don Carter's task force because they keep popping up everywhere, right? So she's telling Kane, look, don't come back until you find out exactly what's going on, because we know Kane, he gonna do whatever it takes to protect Effie at all costs. And we know Kane, he knows the truth for real. He knows his moms, did the whole thing with the Russians and stuff. And he knows his moms is most likely working with Detective Don Carter's task force. So he's not really trying to rat out his moms. And we know he wants to protect Effie. So he agrees to go with her to meet up with Brayden, and they need Brayden to help them out as far as his game plan to get this intel. And Brayden, he was in there snorting up some coke, stressing out about the business. And Brayden tells them, like, look, I will help you guys out, but I need the knockoff version of Course Correct, which we know Effie is running, called Course Perfect. And she tells him, okay, you can have it. You can have all the schools as well. So she is giving up her part of the business. We know Kane was like, I don't know about that. Like, are you sure you want to do this? Well, Effie tells him, yes. We know Effie, she's clocked out. She is tired of being a part of the game, especially after all the stuff that popped off in the last episode. And now she feels like it is her time to step away. Now, Detective Don Carter confronts Felicia about what happened to Diana, and it seemed like she didn't give a damn, talking about Diana could have ruined everything. He tells her that Monet wants her head and that Diana was pregnant, and he asked her if she knew. And she talking about, how was I supposed to know? Like, really? All those baby gifts in last week's episode that you stole? Like, come on. The snow globe? Like, really? I mean, that coke, it gotta be laced with something, y'all. It has to be laced with something. I don't know what the hell is up with Felicia. We know Carter does ask her if she's back on that shit, you know what I'm saying? Because she ain't moving right, you know what I'm saying? And we know Stokely earlier on in the episode was talking about fans or fiends. Well, here's your fiend right here. This girl is lost. Now, she shows Don Carter the video of Tariq taking out Zion. He's pissed. He's like, man, I cannot believe this happened. He needs her to basically stay low. Don't talk to nobody. Don't tell Nico nothing. And I'm going to tell you right now, Carter, deep down in his soul, he knows that he's going to have to handle this. And I'm talking about Felicia. He knows she needs to go. She needs to get dropped off. And he's probably thinking about how he can do it. But we know he is trying to make a cover up with the whole Kamal Tate thing with the Russians. So he is very busy this episode. But I'm going to tell you right now, he do not trust Felicia at all. You never trust the damn junkie. Now, Diana, hey, she pulling her ghost moves. She is watching Felicia from a distance. She is waiting for the opportunity to make her move. Now, we get to Effie and Brayden, and this part of the episode was crazy, y'all. I'm watching it, and I'm like, man, they really put this in here. I mean, to me, it was just funny. I could not take it serious at all. I mean, it is Power Book 2 Ghosts. Anything can happen. These two really went to this officer's house. They had to get in there and hope and pray that his police laptop was there in order for them to get some intel about what's really going on with these investigations. I mean, hopefully they can prove that Effie is innocent. And this whole mission was crazy. As I told you guys, this was a straight up GTA mission. Now, Effie was able to get the intel, and it really did seem like she was about to get caught. We know Brayden grabbed that knife. He was about to catch a body up in there. I'm like, man, this is not about to go well at all. Now, it really did seem like it was going to be over for them, but we know Effie, she let Kane know that it was time, and then he pops up with Officer Ramirez's jacket, making it seem like, he's an officer of the law. And I'm like, man, this is crazy. We had the one season where he thought he was a lawyer, he dressed up or whatever, and now we get to see him as an officer of the law, Officer Ramirez, the guy that he smoked, back in season 1. So Kane, he is making all types of, crazy moves, and they made it seem like they got carjacked and all that stuff. We know they was all bloody, but the lady, she was catching on. Now, realistically speaking, I can never see this happening at all. I mean, I'm pretty sure she has a door camera and they can see their faces, right? And if she does tell her husband, like, yeah, Officer Ramirez came to my door or whatever, he can easily check the camera and see, like, man, I don't know him or whatever. And once they check the camera, I'm going to tell you right now, realistically speaking, they will know that it's Kane Tejada just based off his history alone, his family. And then Brayden, he just got caught up with the school at Stansfield with the drugs and all that stuff when he took the fall, but remember, he was immune. All I'm saying is this: if they investigated that camera, that footage, they would have been caught. That's what I'm thinking. But hey, it's Power Book 2 Ghost. Anything can happen, and it seems like they don't really suffer any type of consequences for some of these sloppy missions. Fingerprints are everywhere. Like, come on. It will be easy work for law enforcement in real life. But then again, it is TV. It's crazy. Now, we get to Detective Don Carter and Nico. Of course, he hurries up and shoots this guy. He wants to make it seem like the Russians, took out Kamal Tate. And he places the gun that he used on Kamal Tate in this guy's hand. And he feels like he has completed his mission. But Nico, he understands that something's not right, especially the way that Don Carter is moving, the way that he's acting. I'm going to tell you right now, Nico is going to figure this out. He did mention that the guy's friend got away. What about him? Carter don't really give a damn. He's just trying to pin it on this guy right here, and that's it. I cannot wait until all this comes out because Carter, he will be exposed eventually. But the thing is, Nico, he may get dropped off because it does seem like, he has a heart or whatever, and that could be his weakness. We shall see. Now we get to Dirty Diana, and now it is time for her to finally catch a body. Now she confronts Felicia, telling her like, look, you took everything from me. And this cokehead talking about, look, things can still be fixed. And this was just business as far as what happened to you or whatever. And I'm thinking like, really? Stop talking to her. Know what I'm saying? Get her up out of here. Now, as Diana is talking to her, we know Felicia makes her move. And for a moment, it seemed like Felicia was about to end Diana. I mean, they going back and forth. Next thing we know, Diana is able to make a move on her. And then she grabs that cast iron skillet. And hey, in honor of your boy Ghost, she said, you know what? It is time to end you. And she beat the crap out of Felicia. Got payback on her. Know what I'm saying? We knew this was going to happen. We knew Diana was going to catch a body this season. Diana's demeanor is completely different. And she's going to be even more dangerous after this, in my opinion. But I am glad that she was able to get Felicia up out of here. The sad thing is, as she was walking around, she saw those kid toys, and now she understands that Felicia, she had a son there, and he was asleep. I'm like, man, all that stuff going on, he don't hear nothing. Knowing Felicia, she probably had that boy snort a line of melatonin. Said, look, you're going to sleep tonight. Now, we get to Don Carter and your boy Rashad Tate, and Carter's telling him, look, we got him. Know what I'm saying? This is the guy that took out Kamal Tate. And I know Tate was looking at him like, really? Ain't no way in the hell that this low-level bum took out my brother. But it is what it is. Rashad looked at him, spit right in his face, and talking about how he wished he could have took him out. And this is what I was talking about. He wanted to take out this guy, right? Which is Detective Don Carter for real. And we know he was telling Carter, look, I owe you whatever. And if it's anything that you need, let me know. Carter is trying to get rid of this as quickly as possible. He is not trying to think about this anymore. But I'm going to tell you right now, this is not the last time that we're going to see Rashad Tate. He definitely going to pop up once again. Now we get to Effie and Kane, and now she has found out that this task force is dirty. They lied about how much, stuff they took as far as product and money. And she gives Kane this information, and Kane sees Felicia's face. And he's like, okay, now I know what time it is. This is the same Felicia that beat down Diana and took out, her baby. So we know Kane wants to hurry up and let Noma know exactly what this task force is all about. At the same time, we know he gonna have another conversation with Monet in the next episode. Now, Effie does thank Kane for what he's done, and she's like, look, I'll stay here. Know what I'm saying? I know you about to go handle business with Noma, but I'll wait for you to return. But Kane ain't coming back. He gonna be too busy clapping Noma's cheeks and not yours. And we know Effie's definitely gonna feel some type of way about that. And while she's there waiting, she does get a call from her mom. So you already know what time it is. In the next episode, most likely, we're going to see Effie's mom's. She does ignore the call in this episode. So I want to know all the details. I want to know the relationship, and I want to know how Effie is going to react if her mom does pop up. Now, we get to Don Carter and Drew. Drew is finally released. Some of you guys were talking about Drew wanted to stay there. He was having a good old time. But we know once Drew did get released, he told Don Carter, like, look, I thought we had a deal. I didn't want my mom or sister being involved in any type of mess. Carter told him, you're not in a position to make any type of deals at all. And basically, if he does not do what he wants him to do, that Drew and his whole family will all be locked up, right? And while Drew was having this conversation, Monet is blowing up his phone, letting him know that Diana, she went and handled things herself, and basically she needs his help or whatever. But while Carter is talking, I believe Drew was thinking about all the different outcomes. He knows that Carter is going to continue to press his family, so maybe he felt like he needs to make a deal in order to protect himself, his family, and he knows that once Carter finds out about what happened to Felicia, it's going to be all hell, you know what I'm saying? So maybe he was like, look, I got to create some insurance for myself and my family. I got to do what I got to do. I got to let him know the truth about everything. Now, Kane lets Noma know the truth about what's going on with that task force. They're dirty, but Noma wants to know who was giving them these tips, right? And she tells Kane that Effie will continue to do business with the Russians. And y'all know Effie, she ain't gonna like that. Now, Kane does tell Noma that they should just get married. That way it will help out as far as her citizenship and she will be legit. Now, she does tell Kane, how can I trust you? Kane tells her, you don't have to trust me at all. This is a business move, know what I'm saying? All Kane wants is what he's built since Mecca, and he does not want her messing up his money. Don't screw him over when it's all said and done. That's all he cares about. He don't care who she's messing around with and all that stuff. That's not really important to him. He's just tired of being an employee. He wants to make this a partnership, right? So Kane, he is moving real smart. I just hope he continues to watch Noma's every move because I don't trust her at all. And this could be, an opportunity for Kane to actually take over Noma's whole business, right? And this whole thing, it's more of a risk for her than him. So it's a win-win for Kane. He just has to hope that everything plays out the way he wants it to. Now, Tariq shows up to help out Diana. And while they're talking, Macaulay Culkin wakes up out of nowhere. I guess that melatonin, it wore off, and now he wants to know what the hell is going on. So Diana has to go up there and read him a bedtime story or whatever and get him back to sleep. And I guess since Diana took out Felicia, he gonna be home alone for real. Now, Tariq does apologize to Diana, letting her know that he's gonna be there for her. It was difficult for her as far as catching her first body. She does not feel the best, but she felt like she had to be the one that did this, right? Similar to Tariq, remember, he felt like he had to be the one that took out Ray Ray, even though everybody else said that they're going to handle it or whatever, but Tariq did not listen. He did what he wanted to do. Now, Monet pops up and she's like, man, what the hell is going on? She's trying to help out. And while they're talking, Drew pops up and Monet is like, okay, Drew, I need you to help me, get rid of this body. We got to figure this all out. And then all of a sudden, Detective Don Carter, he pops up to the party and he's pissed off. Because he told them to leave Felicia alone. He was going to handle it, but no, they did not listen. And hey, it is what it is. She had it coming. Now, Don Carter is telling them, I could just take you all out right here, but I'm not going to do it because of Drew. Drew ended up making a deal with him, and Drew told him the truth about that shipment, that it was not the Russian shipment. It was Noma's the whole time, right? And Monet, she was still trying to act like she did not know who it was or whatever. But Drew already let him know, so he knows what time it is. He tells her, look, you still trying to protect the plug, and I could have took you and your daughter out. And he tells them, like, look, y'all could go down for this, but guess what? He needs them to help out with Noma. He wants to have a leverage over her. He wants to basically get her up out of here, and he needs their help, right? So now they have to basically do what he wants them to do as far as taking down Noma, and if they don't do it, as he stated, they can go down for this. Their freedom basically is at risk. So what's going to happen next? It's going to get crazy. Now, as they're leaving, he grabs Tariq, lets him know, look, welcome to the team. And I know Tariq is very upset. He had that pissed off look on his face. As I told you guys, all he can think about is what Zion told him, that Don Carter is basically about to own you too. And Tariq in his head is like, man, ain't no way in the hell it's going down like this. I cannot let it go down like this. We know in the episode 8 trailer, they're plotting and planning. It seems like they may let Noma know that she got some issues with Detective Don Carter, which she already knows anyway, based off all the intel that she got in this episode. So with 3 more episodes left, it's about to be a crazy ending. And I know Monet was pissed off at Drew, but if Drew did not give up that intel, that means that Diana and Monet could have been smoked, you know what I'm saying? Because Don Carter was not playing around. We know Drew, the things that he does, usually he tries to put himself in a better position. And I think that's exactly what he's doing with Don Carter. But I would not be surprised if he still makes a move on Don Carter by the end of the season. Family first. As I always told you guys, in order to take down Don Carter, the whole Tejada family and Tariq, they're going to all have to come together to beat him. And then you get Rashad Tate involved. Y'all know he going to pop back up. At the same time, Detective Don Carter, he's going to have to look out for Nico because we know he probably going to make a move eventually. You know what I'm saying? I don't think that Don Carter fully trusts him based off the way that he was moving in this episode. And y'all know it's just a matter of time before Don Carter is exposed. But if he is to go out this season, trust me, he going to go out with a bang. Y'all can tell this dude is out of his mind. He going to go out guns blazing. Now, I'll catch you guys this weekend for the What to Expect for episode 8. And we're going to continue to talk about more fan predictions for these characters and different storylines as well. But I want to thank you guys once again for all the love, all the support. And I'll catch y'all on the next one. But let me get up on out of here, man. It's your boy Mark Dark. I'm out. Peace.